All right, I'm David Palmer, BYU Idaho Statistics and Data Science professor, and I'm here with Caleb Hale. He's one of my students, and we're here to talk about his project. Caleb, why don't you first explain what was the overarching research question and why you chose that research question?
Well, AI is becoming a very big topic these days, so I wanted to see what the literature actually said and whether it kind of reflected maybe the same sort of concerns as public opinion or what the most primary concerns were and kind of get a feel for where the overall state of discussion was.
All right. Well, great. So maybe explain to me what was your data source, and then talk me through data rarely comes in all ready to go. So you
Mhm.
probably had to do some prepping and cleaning. So you can maybe explain to us or highlight what were the biggest headaches that you overcame in your data prep?
Yeah, so I got the data from the MIT AI Risk Database, and so that's a compilation and summary of literature from 2015, I believe, or 2016 up till 2025. Um, and one difficulty was a lot of the data is qualitative. It's all like categorizing and things like that. And so there was a little bit less numerical data to work with. And also the format of the data was a spreadsheet that was formatted to look nice for the users to see in it. So I had to like take off some rows and kind of get it into just the data format.
Okay.
So that was most of my data cleaning.
Yeah, maybe I don't know if there's a that takes place up above. You can kind of
No,
see
that takes
that.
place beforehand.
Okay. Okay. Well then, walk us through, say, your favorite visualization or the one or two visualizations that really get at the heart of what you're doing. Maybe give us like a 2-minute tour of your thought process
Yeah.
as you drill down further and further.
Well, I start off with just a basic chart of the number of times each concern is present in the data, and that gives a quick overview of the general system safety failures as kind of the top concern. Then I looked at the literature by how often it's cited yearly to kind of scale the individual concerns. You can see which papers are being most prominent. One drawback of that I mentioned in this is that it this graph scales the concerns of all the paper based on the citation. It doesn't measure like which individual parts were cited the most,
Uh-huh.
but it does show that the most common papers tend to be a mix of topics.
Okay.
Then I go into the actual data and some patterns I see there, break it up by intention and time period. I thought it was interesting that they even thought about pre-deployment. So it was interesting to see which,
Let's take a look at that graph a little
yeah,
more here. So this is a unit chart, I guess, and each circle represents a paper.
yeah, each uh, icon is a concern. The circles are human caused concerns, and the little robot faces are uh, robot or AI caused concerns.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I love to use the little icon there. Kind of a subtle nuance.
Yeah.
How did you incorporate that in your code?
I use the GG image library, which is a little tricky, and
You can show it.
yeah,
Is it visible?
yeah. Um, so I use GG. I had to tweak the spacing a bunch, and then whenever I change something else, I'd have to adjust it again. Um, so I have all that in the variables. Uh, yeah, I do separate points for each type. So I'd have with humans would be separate, and then the other, which I ended up hiding to clean up the data, to clean up the chart. And then the AI is a separate genome image edition.
Right. So you weren't just plotting them, or maybe you were. Maybe you plotted all the circles and then plotted the other ones just on top, or or not quite.
Not quite. I think it does just the circles separately and then the robot images separately. And then I used to have triangles for like non-categorized entities, like
Hmm.
if it wasn't categorized in the data, but that just kind of made it more messy.
It's interesting to me that it appears that the circles versus robot faces are kind of scattered randomly throughout. So how does it determine where that spacing happens?
I think it's just the order of the data. It just adds each data point individually. There is um, some stuff in here for the actual positioning, like there's a Y position variable that helps to decide where the pieces go, where the individual icons go.
That's really interesting. I haven't seen this before, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to digest
It's
it.
kind of a maybe strange approach, but it like specifies the actual positioning and spacing of them so that it looks neat. It doesn't happen automatically.
Oh, okay. So you had to create all those where those positions actually are on the bar graph. Okay. So you're counting, I guess, something on the y-axis, like every fourth one you
Yeah.
like a modulo operator or something, or some sort of loop, I guess, to get through it. Yeah, tell me, talk me through how you did that. Actually, that's
Yeah.
an interesting piece.
Well, I actually used AI to give me kind of the rundown of it, and then I did a little bit of tweaking. But it was the one that supplied the main design for this system.
Yeah, there's the modulo operator. Okay, very interesting. Okay, what else do you got?
So then I decided that maybe intent didn't matter as much and decided to break it down just by the time period and the domain because I thought it would be very interesting to see what concerns are actually present in pre-deployment. Because you'd think that's before the AI could cause any issues.
Yeah.
But that's when actually there are several concerns still present. And so I go into more detail about actually, there's a table of this front part, the pre-deployment concerns. So then you can look through that, and I kind of break it down and found that actually a lot of the subdomains that are pre-deployment are also the most common subdomains of concern. So the biggest concerns happen first.
I guess that makes sense when you talk about design. It's going to influence everything else downstream. So they're trying to get it right from the start.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, any advice then that you would give to a decision maker or a practitioner, an AI practitioner, that you can distill from this analysis?
I think you have to really think about how the AI will fit into things, how it will be used, because it can't just be created in sort of an ideal vacuum. It's going to be part of real life, it's going to interact with real people, and you need to understand all of the concerns and complexities that go along with that. What are the issues you might run into? What are the possible complications? And you have to really be prepared to try and address the complexity of real life
Yeah,
because that's where it's going to be used.
it feels like, or it seems like people are embracing that idea in terms of the number of pre-deployment issues, but they're still not catching them all before it's too late and it comes back later, I guess, for them to worry about. All right. Thanks, Caleb.
Thank you.